Hello, how's everybody doing? I, my friends, am not doing that great. This has been the worst last few days that I can remember in a long time. Today is Thanksgiving Monday. I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be visiting my parents to eat a turkey, and we won't be doing that because everybody in my house is sick except for me. So I'm now just waiting to get sick because I never escape everybody else's colds. And in the meantime, I'm also cooking for everyone and trying to look after them. And that's not all. Okay, the thing that you may be hearing in the background is the humming of this dehumidifier. Now, why, Helen, are you using a dehumidifier in October? It's not humid anymore. Correct. We had a flood here. That's right. Behind this door, the pipe in our powder room burst. It flooded the entire floor. And now, let me give you a closer look. The floorboards are coming up. So, I don't know if you're going to see it. See this? Get closer. This is now buckling or tenting, they call it, and it's like an inch up. So this whole board, I guess, is going to have to be removed. Once it finishes swelling, we'll see how bad the damage is. So in the meantime, I've got this dehumidifier here to just try and dry up this area. So here's the offending sink. We actually had to get a new faucet for it, so that was like, I don't know, a little under $200. We had to have the plumbing redone underneath because that's where the pipe burst, and that was $860. So, and we're not even done repairing the floor yet. So lots to be done. And that wasn't even all. A very beloved neighbor of ours passed away suddenly from what we believe is a heart attack. So we learned about that on Thursday. Niall's colleague at work was hit by a drunk driver and she nearly died, and he visited her in hospital on Thursday. So I guess instead of complaining, I should be looking at the other side of it, which is thank goodness that we're all okay. I mean, there's 2 sick people in this house and I'm waiting for it to befall me as well. But my goodness, what a lot of drama. It's at this point that I'm realizing you might be a bit puzzled about why I'm celebrating Thanksgiving now. And that is because this is Canadian Thanksgiving, which falls on the second Monday of October, a lot earlier than American Thanksgiving, which is at the end of November. I have this wish that we could kind of combine the two and just have it on a day, like Americans and Canadians could have the same Thanksgiving, and that would be, in my mind, ideally maybe early November or something like that, because this is, I think, a little too early. It often just feels like the end of summer. It feels a little too early to really settle in with those cozy Thanksgiving vibes. And I guess it's not for me to judge, but I think American Thanksgiving falls very close to Christmas. And so I know that for a lot of families, that presents a challenge, especially when their kids are like in university, as to whether they go home for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, just because, who's going to be traveling a far distance home 2 times in 1 month? It's not always doable for a number of reasons. I mean, I'm not American, obviously. Can't really speak for how they feel about Thanksgiving, but from what I perceive, it seems to be a really top tier holiday for them. I think that probably Thanksgiving seems, in my mind, to rank sometimes even higher than Christmas. I think people often even get more days off. Because in Canada, we get Christmas off, and then we get what we call Boxing Day. We get that off as well. Those are holidays. And I think in the US, just Christmas is a holiday. The day off, I don't think would be a work holiday the day after Christmas. Although I'm sure a lot of people stack up and save their days off so they can have some extra time then. But I know for a lot of people, Thanksgiving is like the Thursdays off, the Fridays off. So it's the Saturday and the Sunday. So it's this nice long weekend for them. But yeah, I don't think it has the same significance here. It's not the hugest deal. It's just like a nice family dinner, usually. But it's not like a pilgrimage you need to make to go back home to see your family. It just doesn't have that sort of sway on us. It's not part of our lore, I guess. But it is very nice to have a day off. I'm certainly not complaining about having a day off in October. That's for sure. Not that I'm taking one. I'm making this video right now. But you know what? As this is more of a vlog, I do enjoy creating them. It doesn't feel like work. It just feels like chatting with a friend. Also, and I didn't need any more expenditures, this month, and yet that is how it works out often, isn't it? I need a new phone. I had been toying with the idea of buying the iPhone 17. So if you have an iPhone 17, those just came out. Please let me know your experience of it so far. I would love to know. I have the 15, right? So that's not that old. And I was going to hold off maybe until next year. I'm really intrigued by the cameras though, because they have a really good now selfie camera that you can hold upright. But so instead of having to film holding the phone sideways, as I do for you guys often when I'm outside especially, I can hold it upright now, which is a more natural way, I think, to hold it. So that's interesting. and it's a better quality selfie camera. So that's important to me because I vlog. And I'd say all my outdoor stuff that you see is on an iPhone, has been on the iPhone 15. So I was toying with the idea of upgrading. I wasn't gonna do it though. I wasn't gonna do it, but now all of a sudden my battery life tanked. I swear it was fine like 3 weeks ago, and now I cannot barely get through the day with a charge. And that's not cool. I don't want to be constantly having to plug it in or have that, like, you know, when the battery levels are always getting low. I'm the kind of person who doesn't like that. I like my battery levels to be nice and topped up. Like, I'm not comfortable being in the red zone of the battery, in other words. So yeah, another thing to do. One thing that's really been grounding me lately is working on collage. I wish I discovered this earlier because, well, if you've watched a lot of my vlogs, you know that I do a lot of drawing, a lot of painting. I keep a little nature journal here. But what I've been enjoying doing lately is just grabbing little bits and bobs and making them into collage. And I'm finding that actually really fun, but not just that, a bit freeing. And there's something kind of childish about playing with like glue and little bits of paper and doing fun things that is quite energizing and relaxing in a way that I think art has not been quite as much for me. So I've really been enjoying also using this little dish rack here, which is where I let everything dry. So this is a great idea if you have a lot of books and you're like me and you just need to let them dry out a little bit. I know that not all of you are into art, but if you are, or just say you have a lot of different like journals or sketchbooks or something, this is just a little cheap IKEA bamboo dish rack holding all these things here instead of dishes. So I'm getting ready for a trip, and I had this idea for a video essay, which is that because it just occurred to me, like, what happens if I lost my phone on my trip, right? I wouldn't know the first thing. I don't know the address of where I'm staying. I certainly have not memorized that. I don't have my ticketing information necessarily. Like, if I lose my phone, I'm kind of cooked. Or if something happens to it. I saw somebody, he didn't lose his phone, he had it, but the phone kind of bricked on him when he was in London. And yeah, he had so much on there. He had his boarding passes, he had all kinds of info, and he couldn't like do the verification steps, because, you know, a lot of times they send you a text and they give you like a code, and then, you know, the two-factor authentication stuff. He couldn't do it, and he had no info. So since I saw that video, I've been paranoid that the same thing's gonna happen to me. 90s Helen to the rescue. I know that people have this like burning nostalgia where they think the 90s were awesome, and they were in many ways, but you know, if we were transported back then, like a lot of these people who are deep in the nostalgia, like you wouldn't last a day. It would be so unsettling, so uncomfortable. You would have no Google Maps. You would have no texts, right? You might have a cell phone you could call somebody, you know, in the later 90s, but life as you know it would not look the same. Travel, communication, much more difficult. Enter the small book. I used to travel with one of these all the time, and I'm going to get back to it. It's just a little book. You can keep it in your pocket or in your bag, and you put all your info in there. You put your address of where you're staying. You put emergency phone numbers of people you need to contact just in case, because up until maybe 2 years ago, I had not memorized my husband's cell phone number. That's right. I used to keep his business card, and I still do, in my wallet, because if I had to call him or text him in an emergency, I had not memorized it, right? It was in my phone. If I lost my phone, I'd have no way of getting in touch with him. So anyway, enter the small little book where you put all that kind of information in there, your hotel, your passport number if you're traveling internationally. We need to get back to some of this analog stuff because it will save you. It will save you in an emergency situation. It really will. Even when my son was small, I used to have a little card in there, like in a pouch that he would have on him because he carries an EpiPen for his allergies. I would have a pouch in there with all our information written out. My husband's information, my contact information, and my mom's contact information, just in case. You know, sometimes you're just not going to beat paper and pen. So the other unpleasant surprise of this Thanksgiving weekend is we were supposed to be eating turkey, and I didn't want to go to the grocery store when everybody was sick here because I thought, well, what if I'm coming down with something? I don't want to go and infect everybody at the grocery store. No big deal. I ordered some online groceries. I was hoping to get like turkey breast, just like a breast, and roast that so we could have turkey, which is is traditional here in Canada. All gone, of course. Why wouldn't it be? So I had to get a pork sirloin roast. And you know what? It's fine. It'll be good. It's the right size for the 3 of us to eat because I wouldn't have wanted to deal with a huge turkey anyway. So we'll be having this instead of turkey, which is fine. I will also just be roasting up some Nantes carrots. These are actually my favorite kind of carrots. If you ever see these, they're like a bit shorter and a bit chubbier. They're very tasty. I've got just some potatoes that came in the brown bags. They're still in there. And then I guess we'll be making stuffing with it. I like stovetop stuffing. I am pretty basic. I don't know, this stuff tastes good. A lot of people prefer this to like really good quality stuffing. Don't get me wrong, I love a good quality stuffing. My mother-in-law, oh my gosh, she makes an amazing stuffing, but we will just have to contend with this because it's me cooking and I don't know that much about making stuffing. So that's gonna be our makeshift Thanksgiving dinner, but you know what, it's all good. Just in general, like if you roast meat, roast carrots, have some stuffing, roast potatoes, it's gonna be good. I'm trying to stay positive, but also not trying to be some sort of beacon of toxic positivity because I think that there is a lot of that. And as I age, I'm really noticing that it's okay to just be in a wistful, sad, whatever kind of headspace, and I don't have to like snap out of it all the time. I think a lot of really serious, sad, grief-filled things have happened in the last few days, like since Thursday, and I'm trying to just process it as best I can here. And I don't want to put some like huge spin on it, but I guess, you know, it's kind of fitting in a way that it is Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is supposed to be about gratitude. And so I guess what I'm trying to express is that I do have gratitude. I'm grateful to be here. So many crazy things have happened just since Thursday. This is not how I anticipated this weekend going. Yeah. I'm just sad about the whole thing. You know, I don't care about the money. I don't care about the plumbing. I don't care about the floorboards being completely wrecked. That's a big whatever to me. I'm just sad about the people that are not here today, right? And I just feel I shouldn't complain about those things. So I'm showing up here today just to show that, you know, bad things happen and, you know, we are going to be okay. But it's okay to feel crappy about it as well. Finally made it outside. It is wonderful and mild out. 17 degrees today, which is really nice. That's actually where my husband is from, in Donegal, Ireland. That's sort of their summer weather. It's sort of like this. It stays very mild there. They really don't get a hot summer at all, although they can get some quite hot days. In general, it's doesn't usually cross 17, I think. It's been a while. Who knows? Maybe global warming is doing its thing there as well. Oh my goodness. Well, I've been trying something new, you may have noticed. For those of you who've been watching my vlogs for a long time, you know, it's been over a year now that I've been making them. I decided for October to just change up the content a little bit. I'm posting a lot more, maybe you've noticed. I've decided to start working on some video essays, which have been a lot of fun. You know, I'm a little bit worried about how AI videos now, they can just completely bury actual creators' videos in the sense of like, they can just make so many, they can post so many. So I think what a lot of us are seeing is a dip in views. And that's just because of the pile-on of all the new videos that have to get served, presumably to an audience, because I think YouTube's not doing a great job of discouraging AI video. But I'm hopeful that they will cotton on and they'll fix the algorithm so that we actual humans, who I would presume want to be seen by our actual audience, people who follow us, will start to get seen. This does happen sometimes. So even in the last couple days, since all of us, there's been a huge pile on. I mean, I'm just a small creator, but huge creators have been complaining about the views problem. And I'm even starting to see in the last few days, like I'm hyper attuned to this. I know that you guys maybe don't notice these things, but I'm super attuned to it because I have 2 YouTube channels. And I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I actually enjoy it, watching it. I watch more YouTube than I watch, you know, Netflix.
What I'm starting to notice again is actual small human creators with small channels starting to get an uplift in my algorithm anyway. So that's nice. So that's a nice sign that maybe they're starting to reprioritize actual humans. And I don't see that many silly AI videos, but I know that they're there because if there's a buck to be made, somebody's going to be trying to exploit that by making AI videos and posting them, seeing what sticks to the wall and trying to get that monetized. But I'm hopeful that things will change. We're now starting to come into the season where a lot more people are watching YouTube as it's colder in the, I guess, the global north, we'll call it, which has a lot of population. It's starting to get more wintry and people are inside more and they're watching more, whereas summertime very often is a bit of a quieter time for views. So we'll see. Anyway, it's a nice day out. As I predicted, I don't know if you saw that vlog, possibly not because hardly anybody did. It's my baking vlog where I make a beautiful apple cake. If you want an apple cake recipe, find that vlog. The apple cake is so good. If nothing else, just to check out the recipe that I posted in the description of that one. It's delicious. But as I predicted in that video, what we have this season is just a lot of green. It hasn't really turned that much. I mean, you can see this tree here, this big one would normally be maybe more orange by now or something, but not as green as it has been. So yeah, that's been interesting. I don't know that we'll get full fall reds, oranges, the beautiful brown shades that we get. I haven't seen much of it yet, so we shall see. Just out here for a little walk. Sorry if there's a lot of wind noise. And it's surprising me how much is open. I would say it's about 50%, like just past a cafe and a restaurant that are open, and then a lot are closed as well. So that's Canadian Thanksgiving for you. I wouldn't have predicted that. I would have thought nearly everybody was going to be closed, but I guess if there's money to be made, they'll be open. The thing that I love doing best of all, though, is just getting off the beaten path and onto one of these nice little side streets, which is really very much the charm of Toronto. The charm of Toronto is not the main streets there. Not particularly pretty. The buildings are not particularly scenic, but as soon as you get off a main street, you get into these nice neighborhoods and it gets really peaceful and really nice really quickly. And I love that part of the city. Just like walking around, looking at people's homes, relaxing. Even though it's a city, there's still like a chill energy. I really like what they've done to the front of their place. Let me show you. I, of course, have no Halloween, no fall decorations up at all. But they've done this cute little porchscape with the pumpkins. And then I guess their kids have decorated the window. I love that. Check out this sofa that I spotted across the street. It looks like it came out of a bordello. And even from across the street, I was like, I wonder if that yellow sign says it's got bed bugs, but it says no bed bugs. But yeah, this couch has seen better days. But anyway, it's really giving like Downton Abbey or bordello vibes. And I know that that's a pretty wild comparison. Okay, now you see what I mean about just not knowing what to expect, but having a lot of fun as soon as you hit a side street. Like, look at this little, look at this little place. Look what they've done for Halloween decorations. Time to float. Yeah, I bet. Have a awesome Halloween. And the Michelin tire guy from Ghostbusters, iconic. All right, I'm getting a real chuckle out of this walk. And you know what? I needed a bit of a chuckle as well because I debated on whether to mention this at all. And I'm still not even sure that I'll keep it in, but I don't know if you're seeing it. I guess I decided to keep it in. This is always a bit of a tough time of year because a lot of family members of mine had died around this time of the year or were just very, very ill. So anyway, if nothing else, that should be a reminder to really just be thankful. But I know it's a hard time for, you know, not only me, but also, of course, my family. You will see what I mean, though, about it being quite green still, like surprisingly green. Okay, let's look down the street instead. I'll go slow so you guys don't get a massive headache, but if you look that way, very green. Look how many flowers are still blooming in this particular front yard. There's a rose. Asters, I think that's a daisy. So the big question mark is whether I'm gonna get sick or not. Have you ever been like this on this precipice where you're just not sure what to expect? That's exactly where I am right now. I don't have anything else made though. I don't have anything else in the vault, so to speak. So I guess you guys will know if I'm silent for the next number of days, and that means I guess I got sick. And if I keep posting, then I made it. But some Thanksgiving, huh? Anyway, I was gonna show you like making the roast and doing the potatoes, but I'm starting to feel that kind of scratchy, razory thing going on. And in fairness, that could be because I've had the dehumidifier blasting in my house for the last couple of days or not, I don't know. Also seeing myself here in this relentless selfie cam, I'm thinking I do need to maybe color my hair. I hate being just gray in the temples. I wouldn't mind if it was just sprinkled on the top, but I don't know, I don't like that. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna end it off here. Yes, thank you for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, or happy belated Thanksgiving to my fellow Canadians. For the rest of you, I'm not gonna say Thanksgiving yet, or maybe at all, but I will say I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.